We all know that a lot of the time when it comes to Marvel Cinematic Universe films, the actors have to do a lot of their own stunts. And for some actors, this can actually be a little bit harder than maybe what it is for other actors. For instance, Elizabeth Olsen recently opened up about how challenging doing stunts can be for her, and it's really interesting because if we look across the history of her acting in the MCU, this is kind of apparent that it is one of the bigger challenges, and it's really cool to see how this actress has been able to overcome it. So let's go ahead and take a closer look.
I think it's really fun. I don't really like roller coasters. I don't like going fast in cars. I don't really like adrenaline rushes in those ways. And so it's like the safest version of a roller coaster, I'd assume, and you lose your stomach a lot, and it just makes me laugh a lot.
Now, before we fully jump into this, let's take a quick look at some Marvel trivia. Which MCU actor who played a major role in a Marvel film will be appearing as a brand new, different character in Sony's extended Marvel universe in the future? Stick around to the end of the video to see if your guess was correct. But for now, let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the challenges that Elizabeth Olsen has talked about when it comes to doing stunts for MCU films.
We have to take it very seriously because it is dangerous. But anytime I have to like land after being held 30 feet in the air and then they land you, and there's just a lot of things that I'm not very good at. And so you learn that very quickly, and we have to laugh at it.
Now, in general, it is really interesting to hear Elizabeth Olsen's perspective about doing stunts for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as across the board, we've seen a lot of actors from the MCU have to jump on board and do their own stunts, and some of the times it can be incredibly challenging stunts to do. So it is really awesome whenever we see any actor or actress in the MCU being willing to step up to the plate and do some of the stunts on their own completely, even though pretty much every actor in the MCU does have a stunt double for some of the bigger fight sequences. It is cool still to see these actors doing a lot of their own stuff too.
I think it's really fun. I don't really like roller coasters. I don't like going fast in cars. I don't really like adrenaline rushes in those ways. And so it's like the safest version of a roller coaster, I'd assume, and you lose your stomach a lot, and it just makes me laugh a lot.
Now, what is really interesting is that while a lot of the times these stunts can be very complex, sometimes things just don't go the way that is planned, which can make it incredibly more challenging or even frightening to do a lot of these stunts.
I was leaping onto like a pillar, and there's some rigging that went wrong, and there was just they didn't secure the platform, and I fell straight through it, but I was fine. But I totally just fell straight through a hole when I was wired and landed on this platform.
But no cuts and bruises.
No cuts and bruises, but it scared me.
Okay.
It was really funny.
Now, of course, this isn't the first time Elizabeth Olsen's opened up about some of the challenging things that she's faced when doing stunts or having to do a lot of action sequences across the board. For instance, all the way back during filming of Avengers Endgame, there was a sequence where Elizabeth Olsen fell while they were filming just because she's not able to look at where she was walking, and there were some narrow stairs in front of her.
I fell on my knee so hard because I was trying to walk down like rubble aggressively, and like, you know, not looking, you can't look at the ground when you're trying to be scary. You have to just look at your you know, the person you're fighting.
Nonetheless, it's still very impressive. We know Elizabeth Olsen did a ton of stunts throughout her tenure in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and of course is set up to do a lot more for the upcoming film Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, it is really interesting though also, Elizabeth Olsen does open up at times about working alongside a stunt double, and how the stunt doubles are very impactful for the outcome of the overall film. For instance, Elizabeth Olsen briefly talked here about the involvement of stunt doubles and how they really go beyond just doing fight sequences. They're actually acting the character and need to know where the character's emotional compass is to best portray the character in the actual film.
And I'm just thinking, well, shouldn't you just be making everyone look cool? But they're actually caring about telling the story as best as they can through fighting.
And as far as our trivia question is concerned, if you guessed Aaron Taylor-Joy, you would be correct. He previously played Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron. However, he's now set to star as Kraven the Hunter in Sony's Spider-Man universe. So ultimately, this is just something really cool to take a look at, and we're really incredibly excited to see what we are going to get from the future of Elizabeth Olsen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness coming up soon, and potential future opportunities for this character down the road. So what do you guys think about all of this? Do you enjoy seeing Elizabeth Olsen play this character and overcome some of these difficulties? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe and notifications on for more videos like this uploaded every day of the week. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.